And, you know, this is what Mike Tyson, when Mike Tyson shows up, everybody makes money, you know? Jake Paul is fucking, you know, I don't have to tell you guys, you guys know, Mike Tyson is the A+++ side of that thing.
Dana White didn't hold back, dismissing Jake Paul as a sideshow while declaring Mike Tyson's larger-than-life persona as the true reason behind the fight's massive attention. MMA superstar Sean O'Malley expressed satisfaction with how the Mike Tyson fight unfolded, but admitted feeling tense whenever Tyson absorbed Jake Paul's punches. O'Malley voiced his full support for Jake Paul, confident that his future endeavors will be remarkable. He also shared relief that Tyson avoided any significant injuries during the bout.
Well, what did you make of that?
I was happy how it played out. I'm glad Mike didn't get hurt.
Was it a hard watch towards the end?
It was a little bit. Every time Jake would land a nice left hook or right hand, I'd go, ooh.
What more do you want to see from Jake next? He's calling out the likes of Canelo, he spoke about Tank Davis in the past, somebody you've mentioned. Do you think they're just kind of pipe dreams for him?
And you know what? Whatever Jake does next is going to be huge, and I'm going to be excited for it.
Floyd Mayweather weighed in on Jake Paul's boxing career, reflecting on Paul's past statement about wanting to fight only real matches, not exhibitions. Mayweather acknowledged that Paul's current approach, facing MMA fighters and influencers, helps him maintain a winning streak. However, he warned that facing a seasoned, skilled professional boxer would drastically alter the outcome, potentially exposing Paul's limitations.
As long as he continued to fight MMA guys and YouTubers, he's gonna continue to look good and shine. But once he fights a real fighter, a real fighter that can really fight, it's not gonna be that good.
Oscar De La Hoya criticized the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul match, branding it a horrible fight. He highlighted Tyson's struggles, including visible fatigue during his entrance and lack of energy once the bout began. De La Hoya expressed disappointment that fans expecting to see the dominating Tyson of the 90s were instead left with a shadow of the legend, further stating the fight was orchestrated rather than authentic.
Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul was by its nature a horrible fight, right from the start. It was just awful. Mike almost fell down during his walkout. And he was on quicksand since the first 10 seconds of the fight. It was wishful thinking for all those idiots who thought they were going to get Mike Tyson of the 90s come out and rip somebody's head off.
Dana White, UFC president, highlighted the event's financial success, crediting Mike Tyson's legendary status as the key factor. Despite Tyson's evident challenges, including wearing a knee brace and stumbling during his entrance, White emphasized that Tyson's name alone attracted viewers, showcasing his lasting ability to generate massive revenue.
Mike Tyson was right, and I was wrong. I told him, Mike, you're basically 60 years old. And he's like, you honestly think this kid's going to do anything to me? He's not good. He's not going to knock me out. He's not going to do this. And you saw him. He tripped when he was walking down the thing. He had a hard time walking up the stairs. He had a knee brace on. And Jake Paul couldn't do anything to him. He made a ton of money. And I know people are mad. You stayed home on a Saturday night, but you didn't pay for it. You know what I mean? And you know, this is what Mike Tyson, when Mike Tyson shows up, everybody makes money, you know? Jake Paul is fucking, you know, I don't have to tell you guys, you guys know, Mike Tyson is the A+++ side of that thing. And he was right. Jake Paul couldn't do shit to him. So he was right and I was wrong.
Conor Walker acknowledged Jake Paul's growth in boxing, attributing it to years of rigorous training under elite coaches and access to top-tier management and conditioning resources. He noted that Paul's efforts have drawn attention to the sport, helping expand its audience. However, Walker criticized Paul's choice of older opponents like Tyson, urging him to fight younger, emerging talents to truly test his skill and credibility.
But you've got to on Mike Tyson, man. And I got up and it was just, you know, it's an old man and his legs wasn't there. He wasn't the same man. You know, Jake Paul, I think what people forget is, that Jake Paul, when I was watching all the documentary stuff about it, he's had his first fight, 2018. That makes him boxing for 6 years now. In 6 years, you can come a long way. And I do believe he has come a long way with the best trainers, the best management, the best strength conditioning. You know, he's got it all, got the world at his feet. I've got nothing against them doing it.
Amid the controversy, Leonard Ellerbe praised Mike Tyson's ability to complete 8 rounds despite his age, describing it as a testament to his legendary status. Ellerbe reflected on how modern promotional opportunities could have amplified Tyson's career earnings during his prime. While recognizing the financial success of Tyson's exhibition bouts, Ellerbe highlighted the mismatch between Tyson's current capabilities and those of much younger fighters like Jake Paul.
Your actual thoughts on Mike Tyson's effort in the ring against Jake Paul, 58 years old. He went 8 rounds, 60 minutes.
Nothing but the utmost respect for Mike. Mike is Mike. You know.
I'm happy he got that paycheck from that fight.
Yeah,
to be
me
honest.
too. Well, I can't even imagine if we would have been working with Mike when Mike was Mike. He'd be a gazillionaire.
Sylvester Stallone suggested that Jake Paul owes gratitude to Mike Tyson following their recent high-profile boxing match, describing Tyson's performance as akin to an Oscar-winning act. The legendary actor shared his thoughts on Instagram, hinting that the record-breaking bout between the social media personality and the former heavyweight champion might have been more theatrical than competitive. In his Instagram post, Stallone reflected on his long-standing relationship with Tyson and appeared to commend him for his role in the event. "Just to set my personal record straight, business is business. Sometimes you have to do hard things and sacrifice for the sake of helping your family," he wrote, suggesting that Tyson's actions might have been motivated by larger considerations. Stallone continued to heap praise on Tyson, referring to him as an unparalleled figure in the world of boxing. "I have known this unbelievable athlete since he's 19 years old, and what we saw was him giving one of the great Oscar-winning performances of all time. Please, Jake, be grateful he spared your life. Trust me." The actor, best known for his role as Rocky, went on to laud Tyson's enduring legacy in the sport, calling him a champion of champions and marveling at his power and presence. "Keep punching, Mike. There will never be a man like you, a gladiator like you, and a soul like you. Keep punching champion of champions. I remember once I bumped into him and thought I was hit by a runaway bulldozer." Tyrone Magnus addressed speculation that the fight was rigged. Analyzing ringside footage, he concluded that Jake Paul's punches appeared genuine, intending to harm rather than play into a premeditated script. Despite the controversy, Magnus believed the match's outcome was legitimate, though it disappointed many fans who expected a more competitive contest.
And I gotta say, after watching it, I truly think that this was not rigged. I think it was 100% real. Especially if you see the ringside footage, it looks more aggressive and devastating. It seemed like he was really trying to hurt Tyson a few times.
Stephen A. Smith proposed that Jake Paul, aware of Mike Tyson's limitations, deliberately held back during their fight. He highlighted Tyson's visible fatigue given his nearly 60 years of age, and suggested that Paul's restraint was a respectful decision to prevent inflicting undue harm on the legendary boxer.
I think Jake did it on purpose. I think that he didn't want to do it. I think he knew that he could take Tyson out, and he just felt bad for him, and he thought it would be bad for him. He thought it would be bad for all parties concerned for him to take Tyson out. Tyson walked into the ring stumbling. And then in the first round, it's 2 minutes, not 3 minutes. And I saw Tyson tired. But I think ultimately being in the ring with a guy that's 31 years older than you, approaching 60 years of age, compassion kicked in. And he was like, "This is Mike Tyson. I really, really don't want to hurt this guy."
Oscar De La Hoya further criticized the fight, suggesting Tyson's lackluster performance might have been deliberate, possibly influenced by financial arrangements. De La Hoya called on Paul to fight credible, age-appropriate opponents to validate his place in boxing. He dismissed the legitimacy of the event, emphasizing that such bouts undermine the sport's integrity.
Now, everyone is talking about how staged this fight was. I do believe it was scripted. And I believe that Tyson was certainly held back. Look, I'm a fighter and I can see it. It goes on the record and it was sanctioned. So Jake Paul paid to get the W on his record? For what? For your own personal satisfaction? I keep telling you, if you want to be a real fighter, like you say you want to be, what are you doing? Like, who's next? Joe Biden?
Simon Jordan took aim at the audience for enabling events like Jake Paul's match with Tyson, labeling them freak shows. He argued that public interest and media coverage fuel these spectacles, straying far from traditional boxing standards. Jordan held both fans and the media accountable for promoting what he views as non-credible boxing events.
Well, there's a responsibility upon the boxing world to call it for what it is.
Yeah.
You know, we had some ridiculous reporting last week from people inside our building, Spencer and Gareth Davis out there running around telling everyone else it was a legitimate fight, and most people knew it wasn't. Frank Warren came on last week, said the same thing as I said, which is don't want to watch it. I don't think it's a credible situation. He shouldn't be in the ring. If people, Tony Bellew was saying yesterday that in part the public are responsible for this because they're the ones that have the appetite. They're the ones that put 75,000 bums on seats to watch that freak show on the weekend that wasn't even a proper fight.
Adam Smith criticized the fight as a sad display of Mike Tyson's diminishing abilities. He expressed disappointment, calling it unsettling to see Tyson struggle against a much younger opponent. Smith emphasized that fans expecting the raw power Tyson displayed in his prime were left with a disheartening spectacle.
I guess slightly going down memory lane for the young generation to see the aura of Mike Tyson, but I'm afraid he was a 58-year-old man, and I think we all really knew beforehand that Jake would win on points, and that, you know, Mike would be a very, very sad.
Jim White challenged Jake Paul to prove his legitimacy by either returning to his YouTube roots or facing a skilled, age-appropriate professional boxer. White questioned the overall impact of Paul's efforts on boxing, suggesting they might not be contributing meaningfully to the sport's legacy.
Well, you would think, but we'd like Jake surely now just to go back to YouTubing, which is what he does.
No, I'd like him to go into a proper fighter that's at a certain age and get filled in.
Tony Jeffries claimed that Mike Tyson intentionally held back during the fight, describing the event as a scam and completely scripted, deceiving fans who eagerly anticipated the match. He pointed out that the fight footage clearly shows Tyson pulling his punches, in stark contrast to the raw power displayed in his training videos.
Oh, ridiculous, mate. This video has been sent to me so many times, it's went viral. People saying that Mike Tyson couldn't knock him out. See, it was a scam, it was a scripted. But if you know boxing, you'll know exactly what's happened right here. Mike started to throw the punch as Jake Paul was moving, and he realized in that split second that if I throw this punch, it's going to miss because he's moving out of the way. So what did he do? Decided not to throw the punch. It's as simple as that, my friend.
Michael Knowles analyzed public speculation about the fight being staged, pointing to the age gap between 58-year-old Tyson and 27-year-old Paul as a significant factor. He argued that this disparity created an unnatural dynamic, making the bout feel scripted, especially given the lack of dramatic action or a knockout.
He was obviously thinking, all right, I'm going to lose to Jake Paul. I don't know if it was fixed, in the sense that I don't know if they agreed Tyson was not going to do that uppercut or whatever. I don't know if it was fixed. I don't know which way it was fixed. In a way, though, it was sort of fixed by nature. A 58-year-old versus a 27-year-old, it's just going to be a different kind of fight. It was just kind of fake. It all felt kind of fake.
Dave Coldwell observed flashes of Tyson's former energy during the fight's early moments, but noted that his stamina faded quickly. By the second round, Tyson's struggles became apparent, leaving him unable to compete effectively. Coldwell described the bout as taxing and one-sided, highlighting the immense physical challenges Tyson faced at his age.
Your legs can't get into range against somebody that's moving around, and then your legs aren't strong enough to really be able to get any purchase on your punches, then it was always going to be a very, very difficult night for Mike Tyson. And after the first 30 seconds, minute, you saw that it just got gradually, well, not gradually, rapidly. After the second round, you can see that the little bright sparks had completely diminished.
John Jones shared mixed emotions about the event, expressing discomfort at seeing Tyson outmaneuvered by a much younger Jake Paul. Jones also hinted at troubling rumors surrounding Tyson's dressing room preparations, adding another layer of controversy to an already polarizing fight.
I did catch the fight. It was hard to see him so old. Roy Jones Jr. kept saying it, man, those legs aren't working. It was really hard to see. He really sold it, with the highlight videos of him training and his physique. I wish he wouldn't have showed us his ass. That was a little wild.
Amid the discussions, Logan Paul praised Tyson's resilience and sharp defensive skills, calling his movements impregnable. Jake Paul acknowledged the challenge of facing such a formidable opponent, even at Tyson's advanced age, describing the experience as one of the most testing moments of his career.
Was he hard to hit? He was hard to hit. He was elusive. I was missing.
I can't believe he can move like that.
A lot of punches. I don't know how he gets off to the side like that.
You know what's impressive is after he gets off to the side, and then he'll come up and parry a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he's still like tuned in with his defense. His defense was impregnable, impetuous.
David Benavidez took a cautious stance, commending Tyson's ability to entertain fans, but urging him to retire to preserve his health and legacy. Benavidez expressed concern about Tyson's future in boxing, believing it might be time for the legend to step away from the ring.
What did you think about Mike Tyson, David? What did you think about the Mike Tyson fight?
To be honest with you, I think it was a good fight, good turnout, but I don't want to see Mike Tyson fight no more. I think he hopefully hangs it up. I think it was a good show, but shit, he needs to retire.
Tommy Fury, who previously fought Jake Paul, reflected on Tyson's future. Fury argued that while Tyson could still draw crowds, the novelty of his return has worn off, and future exhibition matches might not generate the same excitement. He suggested that Tyson's recent performances, coupled with crowd boos, signal diminishing interest in such events.
Mike Tyson potentially returns to the ring, and Logan as well too, maybe having a piece of the action.
Listen, if it's just going to be what they did before, then it's no problem, is it? You know, Mike's not going to get hurt. They're going to get a load of money, but I don't think the public will tune into that again. That's one thing. I think if they were going to do that again, I think they would get maybe even less than half of the numbers that they got last time, because there was a lot of people booing in that arena, and how it's been received worldwide, it's not been great. So I think that was kind of a one-hit wonder, but we'll see what happens.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more content on the biggest names and stories in combat sports. Let us know in the comments. Do you agree with Dana White, or is Jake Paul proving himself in the fight game? Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next one.